Don't miss any of the action at Oceanside, Chula Vista, Torrey Pines, and many more San Diego schools. Download the free UT Preps app on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Hey there, sports fans. Christian Pedersen, David Ring. We are inside the Canyonside and Softball and Baseball Academy for the playoff edition of our baseball podcast. We're talking about the open division now, the big boys, the heavy guns, the heavyweight champions of the world, potentially.
Yes,
so, David, I'm going to give you the floor. What do you see here?
Well, I see 4 games that dynamic players, dynamic pitching. Let's start at the top. I want to give a shout out to La Jolla Country Day for getting into that open division this year with that number 8 seed. Congrats to you guys. I mentioned a game ball last time in the last episode, Jacob Frankel. He's probably going to get the nod in that first game. I'm not exactly positive, but he seems to me like their number 1 pitcher.
He's a left-handed pitcher that can really face off with any team in the county and make it close.
And they got Mickey Moniak at LCC, who they're going to face off in that first game, and got to give him some trouble. So
lefty on lefty. I like the sound of that.
I like LCC in that first game. Second game over here, we got Grossmont, Eastlake. Both these teams are super stacked. Eastlake got Julian Escobedo, who was my MVP for the season. He was 6-0, something like that on the mound. Grossmont, however, is probably one of my more sneaky teams. They ended up the number 5 seed in CIF. I mean, to be number 5 in the open division, it says something, strength of schedule. They've been playing a lot of tough teams. I like Eastlake in that first matchup because of their pitching. And they got Ben Ramirez at shortstop, who's a USC commit, big-time junior. Who are you looking at in that top bracket?
Well, I'm just looking at the fact that all of these teams have a bunch of kids going places.
Yeah.
These are showcase games. Totally. This isn't just a playoff that we're scrapping for, the title that means everything to us. These are showcase games of future significant ball players. LCC La Jolla Country Day is going to come down to whether or not Country Day can pull off a little bit of an upset. You'd have to say that would be an upset just numerically, a 1 versus an 8. But that being said, Country Day was a team that challenged themselves all year. And that is not something you always see in the regular season. Sometimes you'll see a team want to stack up some wins, want to get that confidence, want to really just go into playoffs going, hey, we know how to play our style of baseball, and that wins for us in our little universe. Country Day threw their hat in the ring with a lot of big-time opponents. They went on some road trips out of San Diego. So they might be the one team in this bracket suited to catch LCC coming out. I'm not going to say napping because they're going to be prepared. They're going to be ready. But if a ball's going to bounce one way and a good strikeout's going to happen and a weird thing's going to happen, Country Day would probably be the team in this bracket to do it. That Eastlake Grossmont game, as you mentioned, Eastlake, a bunch of kids going on to major D1 colleges, so that'll be fun to watch. There's also a couple of SDSU kids on the younger side that are juniors still that haven't gone, so if you are a fan of San Diego baseball, this is necessary to see because this is going to be some real future stars for the Aztecs. That one to me is kind of interesting because Eastlake, from our point of view, was a 1 and 2 team.
Yeah, true.
So they dropped down to get Grossmont, and yes, Grossmont has that sneaky factor, but Grossmont also, I think, is lacking that dynamic factor that Eastlake has. Grossmont has Calvin Ferris and some bigger named players, but not necessarily the absolute star-studded firepower that Eastlake has. So Eastlake might have caught a little bit of a lucky draw out of anybody in this whole bracket. Let's go down to the bottom half of the bracket. First game is Cathedral Carlsbad. Second game is Helix Rancho Bernardo. Still just great baseball. That Cathedral Carlsbad game is really interesting to me because Cathedral's a younger team this year, but they're still in the open division.
Yeah, definitely.
So age obviously has nothing to do with success for them. Or maybe it has everything to do with success for them. You gave out a lot of game balls to some of their younger kids.
Agree.
What do you see?
Well, as far as Carlsbad go, I just want to give them a nod first real quick. Nathan Walker and Jack Peabody are going to give those guys a great chance in the bracket. Like we say, it's a double elimination bracket. So if they're pitching back-to-back, these guys are both really tough on the mound. I definitely like Cathedral. Like you said, their strength of schedule is always going to give them a chance to be in the open division. They won a lot of games this year with sophomores like Jacob Allred, Cade Brown. They're going to give these guys a tough time in this first game. They're very, very scrappy. And as far as the second game goes, Helix Rancho Bernardo, I think this is my game. You know, I think Rancho Bernardo got a favorable matchup here. They're going to probably throw Joey McGreasy on the mound is my guess. He's one of the more elite sophomores in the county. He's up there in strikeouts, got about 60 strikeouts on the year.
Rancho Bernardo's also got the long ball, like no one else in this bracket.
Exactly.
And that is going to be a key for them.
Right, and so that's what's really going to be interesting to me in this Helix game, where you got guys that can hit the long ball for Rancho Bernardo. And if Helix can shut them down, I mean, that's going to probably give them some confidence to
The
continue.
long ball can be a feast or famine thing.
Totally,
it can
for
be
sure.
a game breaker. It can be a show up, drop bombs, it's over.
Exactly.
You're staring at it just going, oh, that's nice.
Exactly.
But if on the flip side, you shut that down, that can flatten out an offense.
So you never know what's going to happen, really.
So that RB team is going to have a lot of pitching to face throughout the entire bracket, but they're going to be maybe the hitting team to watch out of all of this.
I would say RB is not as strong as they've been in the past, like consistent-wise, but they're definitely...
You can't argue with a 2 seed, though.
You can't
cannot
argue with the 2, for sure.
seed. So out of all this, you can't say a dark horse. You can't say a favorite. Everyone in the open division is up there for a reason.
Exactly.
They've had a great season. Congratulations to all the teams that have made it there. We're looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. If you don't know where to go for the playoffs, if you're just wondering what game should I go check out, any of these will be better than the Padres. Any of them will be. You can't go wrong with them. And if you think that you know what you're talking about more than us, which is quite likely, be sure to play our Pick'em game. Let us know what you think of who's got the better matchups. We're willing to listen to everything, and we are going to be out there, and we're going to look forward to seeing you all again for the championship edition.
Yes, sir.
So we can figure out who was right and who was wrong. Thank you very much, and have a great day.